Okay, welcome to today's Studio Army review. This is for the Imperial Guard, and this covers my only elite section. However, there's a lot to talk about in this case. This is sort of a crossover between a Army review, or unit review, conversion video, and a model showcase. Because what I've done is something a little different for Ogryns. That's the only elite unit I've got. In this particular case, it's a very, very simple conversion. It's the regular ogre unit from Warhammer Fantasy. Doesn't take, it really is no big deal at all to put together. A lot of fun, actually. A lot of color combinations you can do. There's different hairstyles and weapons. Now, the only thing I had to basically make from scratch was the Ripper shotgun, which obviously this is not a Ripper shotgun, but it stands in. So, to kind of explain where I'm coming from, what the heck these are, I'm going to walk through kind of the backstory for these. On the planet of Polska 5, the fifth planet from the particular sun, the humans encountered these giants. Now they're abhumans, just like Ogryns are. But what I want to do is kind of weave in the story or the mythology of Poland with the Sasquatch legends here. It's kind of neat because in Poland the Łeszy are they're a forest spirit. They can be giants or they can be small. They can shapeshift or what have you. But I've found a couple pictures, and one of the most impressive was the one that had kind of a crowned with branches. So I made him my bull Ogryn, or I should say the bonehead. But essentially they were settled in the forests on Polska 5, and were encountered occasionally by settlers who were trying to settle and farm in the areas near the forest and what have you. They were not generally, warlike. However, they were extremely territorial and did a good job of scaring off the settlers until the defense force came in and started investigating. And instead of actually encountering resistance when they actually found the Łeszy camp and main settlement, they encountered a set of creatures that were they're interested in finding out what these humans were all about, and so that started a discussion or negotiations, if you will, about an alliance, because these warriors, they had access to technology that the humans didn't have, hence the slightly different style guns. But they're just as effective as some of the other abhumans, and they wanted to bolster their forces, especially since they were kind of out in the fringes near the Tau Empire. And they encountered these long before the Tau alliance occurred. So these are definitely part of the abhuman stock that would be incorporated into an Imperial Guard type army. Now, they obviously weren't using Ripper shotguns. They had their own type of energy weapons, and they used just bits and pieces from different models, as well as plastic, in this case rectangle stock, tubes, and I used pieces of kind of jewelry making, to add some of the metallic style components to it, to create kind of an arm blaster. And so this blaster is the same profile as a Ripper gun. It just doesn't shoot like a shotgun, which is what the actual Ogryns fire. So this is my version of an Ogryn, but native to, and with their own native technology, native to Polska 5. So I only have 6 models. I don't really need any more than that, 'cause a typical unit of 5 will fit into a Chimera. Wait, is there 3? It's 4. I think 4 fit into a Chimera, because they're very bulky. And so I'll generally run 4. If I run 6, they won't be in a Chimera. I do find that they are able to do well unloading on up close and personal. They can do a pretty good job shooting up enemy infantry. The Ripper gun puts down a lot of fire, and granted they're not very accurate because they're only ballistic skill 3, but that's a lot of strength 5 fire that goes down, and you throw enough fire at an enemy unit, it's going to fail some saves. So granted, not too great thrown up against Terminators, but against Space Marines you'll knock out a few, and then when you go to close combat with Space Marines, they can hold their own because each has 3 wounds, so they're going to be taking wounds and dishing them right back out. I found them very effective. They're expensive, so I don't get to use them in all my lists, but I do like using them. They had a nice flair to the table, something you don't get to see normally on the table, so that's kind of why I enjoy running them. I kind of work on models, ideas that instead of looking at what's a competitive list, like this, I look at what captures my fancy, what captures my imagination in the storyline that I'm trying to build for my army. And so we end up with a Łeszy squad within a Chimera. Alright, so hope this gives you some ideas for kind of how you could approach some of the Ogryn models using ogres, if you're interested in those. Do me a favor and go ahead and share, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Army review when we'll talk a little bit more about how I went about building some of my custom tanks. Alright, bye.